Hey, what is going on, everybody? I'm Noah from TechnoBuffalo.com. And, yesterday, or I guess it was yesterday I shot it, today I posted it. Piece of advice number one for aspiring tech reviewers and journalists and bloggers: forget your concept of time. Because, you write things today, they get posted tomorrow. You shoot things yesterday, they get posted at the end of the week. Time zones, embargoes, trade shows, all kinds of crazy stuff. Just forget what you thought about time was. It just goes crazy for you, believe me. But anyway, we posted this video answering an email from somebody named Nick, or starting to answer it, talking about advice for aspiring tech reviewers and tech vloggers and stuff. And there's some comments posted already. Those of you who watched the video, thank you. Those of you who didn't, go watch it. And some comments posted, go watch it. I don't know what that was. Some comments posted already asking some follow-up questions. One of the most common ones, well, one of those common ones was, tell us more about how to get products to review. That's a separate topic for another video, I think, unless this one comes up short, but I have a tendency to talk a lot, so probably not. But one of the other topics, which I want to cover right now, is what gear to use, what camera to use, that kind of stuff. And so, here's the thing about gear. Don't let gear get in your way of getting started and making content, okay? To run a website, you need access to a computer and access to the internet. And really, that's all you need to get started. You can use free programs. You can use, hosted blogger accounts or WordPress accounts or whatever for free just to get started. YouTube, it's free to get an account. If you want to use YouTube, you need a camera of some sort. You can use the webcam in your computer to get started. If you have a cell phone that shoots video, you can use that. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money and let the technology get in the way of just getting started. Just get started. That's what's important. Because a lot of times I was like this, as a kid, I still am. I'll get all excited about something. I'll spend all this time researching what gear to get. I'll get the gear. I'll use it for a while, and then, I'm not interested anymore. So you don't make my mistake. Don't let the gear matter. Just get started. That being said, I'll talk a little bit about the gear that I use, because some of you asked. I'm shooting this on a Canon camcorder. It's a Vixia M30, I believe. What does it say here? Yeah, HF M30. So this is the newer version of the camera I used to have when I was with the Phone Dog, but I had to give it back because it was a company camera when I left the job. So I bought this one in like November, a few months ago, whatever that is now, 5 months ago. And I use Canon camcorders for two main reasons. One is the files work well with the video editing software I use. The second is the Canon camcorders, almost all of them have a microphone jack. So I'm actually using, you can see here, a little lavalier mic, which just plugs right into the microphone jack. And I've had three different Canon camcorders. I can't say the name, but I've had three of them. Two of them have been HD. One of them was the FS100, which was a standard def camcorder. It was great for standard def, and even that for like 200 bucks had a microphone jack, which a lot of the camcorders out there, non-professional ones, the ones that are under $1,000, don't have microphone jacks. And it's nice to have that. I don't use it all the time, but this lavalier mic is great for getting good vocal quality. I have a handheld mic that plugs in, and this mic was like 30 bucks off Amazon. This mic I got 8 years ago for 20 bucks at Circuit City, and Circuit City not in business anymore, and it still works fine. But these mics are great for vocals, when it's just you, and you're not interviewing something or getting sound off of something else. They're also great for shooting out in the field, so at a trade show, a press event, that sort of thing. Again, you don't have to use them all the time. If you want to get fancier with it, John has a Sony camcorder, and he has a wireless Bluetooth mic, which is great. The wireless is awesome. And, but that's the kind of stuff that, don't worry about that yet. I think it's a wise policy. I used to not follow this policy, and I got into some debt, and I got out of debt, and now I follow the policy. Don't go spending a lot of money at first. Just do it cheap and easy first, and then if it works, then you can upgrade, as it's worth it. With Phone Dog, the first videos were shot on a little, $90 point-and-shoot camera that shot 30-second MPEG clips. And then that led to getting a camcorder. That led to getting a better camcorder. That led to doing HD video, and so on. So, there you go. I know John Quach shoots video on his digital SLR. The DSLRs now are awesome. If I was buying a new camera right now, I would look I do a lot more video than photos, and I'm a terrible photographer, believe me. But I would look into, you know, a camera, a point and shoot maybe that does video also, that kind of thing. Hard to find one that has a mic and a swiveling screen. I like the swiveling screen also. So there you go. So the sound, very important, and you know, an external mic can be really good. Lighting is also very important. I had a lighting kit, inexpensive lighting kit. Something broke on it, so I'm actually in the market for a new one. But lighting can be very tricky. Shooting outside, natural light is great. Inside can be tricky. I'm not a lighting expert for sure, but sound and lighting are two important things. And when you're shooting videos of gadgets, you know, I've got a gadget here, I've got a cell phone, and the screens can be very reflective, and you can see the screen is reflecting back in the you know, the screen of my camcorder, and so it's tricky. And one of the things about shooting videos of gadgets with a lot of close-up on screens, inexpensive cameras like the flip cameras and the Kodak cameras that are really great for shooting high-def video sort of in general, some of them, a lot of them don't do well with close-ups on screens. So that's something, if you're going to be shooting stuff with gadgets, you kind of gotta, you have to kind of be careful. You have to be careful. You gotta be careful, kids, be careful. And find something that's gonna work with screens. If you're not shooting screens so much, you know, you can get away with other stuff, and webcams. You know, a ton of people do stuff on YouTube all the time, get millions of views shooting off of their webcams. So don't discount that. Just play around with what you've got, and then if you're into it and everything, like I said, then worry about, you know, upgrading the gear. So let's take a quick tour around, look at you know, some of the other gear that I use here, and you can get a sense of you know, the tools of the trade, I guess. But again, you know, don't let the gear hold you back from getting started. So here's my desk. Key things about the desk, you will notice it's got a monitor. I used to have two monitors, but I found that I had one monitor for my work and the other for email and Twitter and IM, which just turned into distractions, and I was ignoring my work and instead just focusing on the distractions. So I ditched the second monitor. Also important, I have a lamp. I rarely turn it on, but I have it there anyway, just in case. Keyboard and a mouse, of course. Now you might, you know, you might find it ironic that I use an Apple computer, but I have a Microsoft keyboard and mouse. I was using the Apple wireless Bluetooth keyboard, which is over here, and the Magic Trackpad, but you know, I went back to, they're good, but I went back to the keyboard and mouse. I like the old style keyboard because I type a lot. I like the old style keyboard. It's a little roomier and has the nice button action. You know, sounds like an old train coming down the track. What else? It's very important to have at least 25 web browser tabs open at once. It makes you feel like you're being busy. Preferably you want to have a picture of yourself on the screen, or even two pictures of yourself on the screen at all times. Very important. Also on the desk, empty cup of coffee. Makes it seem like you really burn the midnight oil. John's been teasing me a lot lately about how I drink fancy coffee out of fancy little cups, but it's true. I like the espresso. Random gadgets scattered around. I've got my Nike Sport Band for running. I've got my iPhone. I've got the Verizon Thunderbolt. You want to make sure you have multiple. No, you don't at all. This is my life, you know, reviewing gadgets. So I've got, you know, review phones around. I've got this remote I was trying out for the iOS devices. Not so keen on it. I've got an empty bin. I don't know why. Rechargeable batteries I haven't opened. Speakers. I've got the Logitech Z10. You should know, none of this stuff I'm showing you, except for the review phones, which I send back. They're not mine. None of this stuff was like, I'm not paid to use it or whatever. This is just the stuff that I personally use. Logitech Z10 speakers. They're many years old now, but no subwoofer, so they don't take up a lot of room. When I had a subwoofer, I would always kick it under my desk, and then the cords would come out and everything. So I like these. It's USB controlled, sounds good. If you can find a pair now, they're probably really cheap. This is all hooked up to, this is a pro tip right here. If you can, get a fancy computer that's not yours, so you don't have to spend money on it. My friend Ewan lent me this computer when he went back from San Francisco to London. It's a Mac Pro Tower. Ewan, thank you. It's on permanent loan or semi-permanent loan. So I'm using this. My personal computer that I actually own, 13-inch MacBook Pro. I also have an 11-inch MacBook Air, which is Techno Buffalo property, which I've come to really like for trade shows because it's super duper light. But point being that I use a Mac, and it's just personal preference. I don't have a big thing against Windows or Linux or whatever. I like the Macs because I like the video editing software, which I use a lot, and the music editing software, which I use, you know, in my non-work life. although I haven't been playing music much lately. I use iMovie to edit all my stuff because it's simple. I don't do a lot of fancy effects. I just do cuts and titles. John Quatch, we got to get John Quatch on camera because he is a whiz. He's one of the most talented people I've ever met and one of the nicest guys in the world. And he can talk video production way more than I can. So, but anyway, it's my setup. It's a Mac Pro Tower. I've got 2 external hard drives because it's not my computer. This has empty bays in it, but eventually I'm going to have to give this back. So I've got the external drives with my backups, and I use one for video editing stuff, whatever. Keyboard, mouse, there's my monitor, 23-inch. You know, it's low budget. I'd love to have one of those fancy Apple monitors. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on it. What else? Important stuff here. Old beat-up mouse pad from an art exhibition at the Guggenheim. Gives me street cred. Not 1, but 2 SD card readers because Mac towers don't have an SD card reader built in. Boo. Point and shoot camera, which is not a work camera necessarily. It's a personal camera, but I use that sometimes to take still photos, and they come out much better than on the camcorder. It's just that this doesn't shoot good video. So I get lazy and I use the camcorder for photographs. Inspirational drummer. Also, I should show the inspirational mug, Patience, because I don't have enough of it. And my little inspirational card with a reading from the Dalai Lama, because I have too much pride. There you go. And fake paper flowers, not just because they're cool, also they don't need watering. Anyway, broken memory card. I have so many memory cards lying around, it's ridiculous. I tried to fix this one by taping it back together. It worked for a little bit, but didn't last. Random stuff, gear bag, boxy box. We'll come over here. You probably already noticed there are a lot of cords. It's a very dangerous place. I've got a press bag full of paper in case I ever need to print anything, which I don't, but I've got a little personal laser printer under there. I only ever print FedEx labels to send things back. This thing, if you're a Mac user who shoots a lot of video, I highly recommend the Elgato Turbo 264.HD. I like this thing so much that when I broke it, I taped it back together and it kept working, which is awesome. This speeds up the encoding process, so it integrates into QuickTime, and so when I export video out of iMovie, especially if it's HD video, everything I shoot winds up getting exported, almost everything, to 720p, and I kind of tweak the settings to make it sort of optimal, you know, small file size, but good enough quality. This thing speeds up the exporting process at least 3-fold. So what used to take 25 minutes to export now takes 7 or 8. It's awesome. It's about 120 bucks, probably find it for less now, and I can't recommend it enough. You just have to find the right settings to dial it in. Random stuff, you know, press releases. There's the box from the Elgato thing. Obviously, I'm a neat freak. There's the Samsung TV that I'm reviewing right now. You might have seen this in the backdrop of some of the videos with the Techno Buffalo logo on it. We'll turn this thing on. There's the Philips Blu-ray player that I'm reviewing right now. You can see under the table here is just bins and boxes and things of, you know, review stuff. Some of it's review stuff that needs to be sent back. A lot of it is just like cables and things like that I've collected over the years that I really should get rid of or give away. In fact, you know what? There's a bin over here. I can't show you this area, it's too embarrassing. Hang on. All right, so this is just a bin with like stuff, just old stuff from, like, you know, product samples from trade shows and things like that. And they just kind of pile up over time. You know, the eye bags, everybody remembers the eye bags, right? And the iPod Nano waterproof case there. But then here's, you know, here's the Thermopack. But then there's an iPad case. And so maybe we should give some of this stuff away on the site. Just, you know, the stuff piles up, and sometimes the companies go out of business, or, you know, it's just whatever. Sometimes it's just samples you accrue, and I have so many bags from trade shows and all, it's crazy. We should just give this away if anybody wants it. Anyway, we'll get back over here to the desktop. And so basically, again, you know, the deal really is, most important, have your own picture on the screen in as many places as possible at all times. Have lots of other websites, including really fancy high-profile websites like the Wall Street Journal, that now employ people you know, like Trisha, who was up there in the right corner, but her picture just changed. Have that up there also, because that makes you feel important. But most importantly, don't let the gear get in the way. Just get started, make stuff, you know, work on your style, your writing style, your video style. Here, I'll get in front of the camera again. You know, I mean, if you go to the Krabby Krav channel on YouTube, Kravvy, Kravvy on YouTube. And you search by date, go into the oldest ones first, and look at the first couple of videos I did. I'm not saying my videos are great now, but those old videos, man, it was just trying stuff. It was trying different, I don't know what I was doing, and you just have to try things. And maybe it's video, maybe it's writing, maybe it's photography, who knows. But just try it, and those were shot on, you know, like I said, that old point and shoot camera we just happened to have that shot MPEG clips. Don't let the gear get in the way. Just do it, you know, borrow a camera, use your webcam, whatever. Start putting it online, you know, and then promote yourself. And we'll talk about that in the next video, the promoting yourself and trying to get stuff to review and all that kind of thing. All right, so anyway, I hope it was helpful. Hit us up with questions, hit us up with comments, of course, and I will get some of my esteemed colleagues on some of these videos to give you tips, because, you know, John Q knows way more about video production and SEO than I do. John Redinger obviously knows a ton about growing a YouTube subscriber base in a very different way than how I did it with PhoneDog. So, you know, we want to share the wisdom if we can, because really what we want to do is we want to find the next awesome blogger and steal you and make you work for us. That's what we want. We'll see you later.